Welcome to Trending Update USA, and I am Steffan coming to you with another deep dive on one of the most surprising end-of-season stories in women's tennis, a story that blends achievement, controversy, analytics, and a twist that has sparked massive debate across the global tennis community. Tonight we explore the headline that has tennis circles buzzing. Aryna Sabalenka ends the season as the official year-end world #1, yet finds herself not at the top of the Alternative WTA Rankings, a system used by several independent analysts that has produced a shock top 4 and placed Emma Raducanu inside the top 15. As this season winds down, the landscape of women's tennis has never looked more unpredictable. Fans expected a tight year-end battle between Sabalenka, Swiatek, Gauff, and Rybakina. But while the official WTA points sealed Sabalenka's status as the world's best for the calendar year, the alternative performance-based models, which calculate rankings using a blend of form, efficiency, strength of opponent, tournament importance, and win-loss ratio, revealed a dramatically different narrative. These non-official systems, favored by data analysts, journalists, and some coaches, produced a ranking that shocked nearly everyone. And that is where the story truly begins. Sabalenka, despite her monstrous season full of Grand Slam finals, deep runs, and unmatched consistency, found herself placed outside the top 4 in these alternative charts. Fans immediately reacted. How can the official #1 not be the alternative #1? What metrics overpowered her success? And who managed to leapfrog her? Tonight we unravel how everything unfolded. Sabalenka's season was a masterclass in power, aggression, resilience, and elite endurance. Starting strong at the beginning of the year, she reached major finals, dominated top players, and repeatedly showed why she remains the most intimidating force in the modern WTA power era. She put up numbers that historically would secure the top ranking without any debate. Her battle with Swiatek, Coco Gauff, Elena Rybakina, Jessica Pegula, and Ons Jabeur created one of the richest competitive tapestries of the last decade. Her ability to reset, restart, and come back swinging kept her in control of the #1 race all season long. But the alternative system used a different lens. Instead of rewarding consistency across the entire calendar, it put stronger weight on performances against top 10 opponents and tournament-specific dominance. That changed everything. In this model, several emerging players skyrocketed up the charts. Some analysts used a system similar to Yellow, which values wins against high-performing opponents more than volume of wins across the year. Others used a model that counted form from the last 6 to 9 months more heavily than earlier season results. And that's where the surprise top 4 took shape. According to these independent database rankings, Swiatek ended the season at #1 in the alternative list due to her dominance post-Wimbledon, her incredible run through the late hardcourt swing, and her high percentage of victories over top-ranked players. Her win rate against top 20 opponents gave her a massive boost in these systems. Right behind her at #2 was Coco Gauff, whose summer form, US Open title defense performance, consistent wins over elite competitors, and strong indoor results gave her a higher point efficiency rating. She also accumulated fewer low-value early-round losses than most of her rivals. The third surprise was the placement of Elena Rybakina, who, despite an injury-affected season, had a stunning record in top-tier events and an exceptional win-loss ratio against top players. The model weighted premium tournament victories so heavily that Rybakina soared past Sabalenka. But the shocker came at #4, where a dark horse player, someone that many did not expect to outrank Sabalenka, emerged. A player whose consistency went under the radar, yet whose efficiency, strength of opponent, and match dominance metrics ranked higher than nearly anyone expected. Tennis social media exploded as this unexpected athlete finished ahead of Sabalenka in the alternative rankings, creating a viral debate that continues to echo across X, Reddit, and tennis forums. Some fans celebrated the deeper analytics for reflecting true performance, while others criticized them as disrespectful to Sabalenka's incredible season. Still, Sabalenka handled the situation with surprising calm. Journalists asked her about the alternate ranking system, and she responded with characteristic humor and intensity. "I know what I did this year. I know where I finished. And that's what matters." Her fans rallied behind her, pointing out that the official WTA ranking remains the global benchmark and the only system recognized for titles, records, and history-making achievements. However, the biggest wave of reaction came from Emma Raducanu's unexpected rise into the top 15 of the alternative ranking. This became one of the most discussed points of the entire release. Raducanu, the 2021 US Open champion who had struggled with injuries, fluctuations in performance, and coaching instability in previous seasons, mounted a remarkable comeback this year. While her official WTA ranking continued to lag due to missing tournaments and inconsistent results earlier in the calendar, her late-season surge transformed her statistical profile. The alternative model heavily favored her because she picked up major wins against top 30 and top 20 opponents and posted dominant scorelines in several events. Her efficiency score was particularly high. She won a considerable number of matches in straight sets and minimized low-value losses. Those metrics, combined with the fact that she largely avoided early tournament exits during her comeback stretch, pushed her well inside the top 15. Raducanu's rise triggered a new wave of conversation about whether official rankings should better reflect form rather than longevity. Fans debated whether the WTA's 52-week rolling system needs modernization. Analysts pointed out that if the Tour used a more dynamic system like ELO, Raducanu would already be a top 10 contender. Meanwhile, critics argued that her alternative ranking placement was inflated due to a smaller sample size of matches. Yet the ongoing debate only strengthened her visibility, momentum, and confidence heading into the new season. As the story spread, more players and coaches began chiming in. Some welcomed the idea of integrating multiple ranking perspectives to present a fuller picture of the sport. Others condemned the alternative system as misleading. But the fact remained, the analytical models offered fascinating insight into player performance beyond the traditional measurement system. The question now is whether these alternate rankings represent the future. As AI-based sporting models grow stronger and performance data becomes more sophisticated, fans begin to rely on these systems not only for debate but also for predictions, scouting, and match analysis. The tennis world is shifting toward data-driven storytelling, and this year's alternate rankings may be a preview of how the sport will evolve. For Sabalenka, however, none of this undermines her crowning achievement. Ending the season as year-end World No.1 places her among the greatest champions of the era. She delivered another season filled with finals, firepower, leadership, and emotional resilience. Her rivalry with Swiatek intensified, her battles with Gauff reached new heights, and her matches with Rybakina provided some of the most compelling tennis of the season. Even though the alternative models created a stir, Sabalenka stands firmly at the top of the sport. Her dominance is visible not only in the official numbers but in the aura she carries on the court. Players know the danger she brings. Fans know the excitement she delivers. And analysts know that the power she generates remains unmatched. The story of this season is not only about rankings, but about evolution, of players, systems, and the sport itself. The debate between official rankings and alternative analytical models will continue, but one truth remains clear: women's tennis has never been more competitive, more unpredictable, or more deeply analyzed. With all eyes now turning toward the upcoming year, questions linger. Can Sabalenka defend her throne? Will Swiatek reclaim her crown? Will Gauff take another leap? Can Rybakina stay healthy? And perhaps the most exciting question of all, will Emma Raducanu's late-season surge transform into a full-scale comeback that reshapes the top tier of the WTA Tour? As always, Trending Update USA will be here to cover every twist, reaction, and rivalry as it unfolds. I am Steffan, and this has been your deep dive on one of the most talked about stories of the season, Aryna Sabalenka ending the year as the official world #1 but not on the alternative ranking lists, with a surprise top 4 shakeup and Emma Raducanu breaking into the top 15. Stay tuned as the drama of the off-season sets up another unforgettable year of tennis.